Hi guys, I'm John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. Today we've got 100 Bullets 43, but first we have World Fantasy Tarot, Death. Death, even gods die. I love this card. I love this deck. It's so good. Alright, let's do it. So, number 43, Loop Hughes. This is a prison story. I just recently saw the movie Felon for the first time with Stephen Dorff and Val Kilmer. I saw Shot Caller a while back with Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. I can never remember that guy's name. Anyhow, this is a prison story. And depending on how you live your life, every day is prison. But even in prison, you can be free. So, depends on who you are. And you know, I'm going to pull this out first because this is interesting. Today's conflicted deck 4 card, the 10 of diamonds, says, how much power and influence do you want in the end of the world? It's probably going to be commensurate with the power and influence you have in the real world. And wanting it isn't going to help you get it. Power and influence comes from wielding power and influence. Do you want to be responsible for other people? Do you want to make their decisions for them? Do they really want you to do that, or do they just want a way out from making the decisions themselves? Take on the responsibility for someone else's life? That's a lot of karma. Chains of gold or chains of iron. Guy in prison ain't any more free than a CEO. Think about it. A CEO's got to show up and try to get people to work for him. Try and get them to do for him. You know, I was watching that guy Sadhguru not too long ago talking about how he runs a volunteer organization. You can't fire volunteers. You can't fire employees if they're not pulling their weight. And that brings me right back to Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi built his business around the sales meeting, around sales teams. I would build my business around a military paradigm where everyone knows everyone else's job so that if anyone falls, the guy next to him can pick up the slack. Alex Hormozi doesn't want a family as a business. You can't fire family. But if you're working with artists, you don't want paycheck employees. You want people bringing their heart and their spirit and their soul to the game. A sports team's the same thing. You don't want paycheck players, but if you're a family, you're not going to be a winning team. Winning is all that matters. And sometimes you have to set up your own game. So, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? This is Loop Hughes doing some rhyming while he is down in solitary for having gotten into a fight with a guy called Nine Train. Guards let him out, gives him a little bit of applause for his, should leave this up for a second, gives him a little applause for his performance. But talk about living in squalor. Cold brick cell. If you're at prison in your mind, you're never free. If you're free in your mind, being in prison's just temporary. Everything's just temporary. Chill in the Oven Part 1. So the guard and Loop Hughes making his way back to Gen Pop. Got his big afro, talking to everyone. Everyone's filling him in about Nine Train, who's still down in protective custody or the infirmary for a couple weeks. He's not out quite yet. This is a lot of exposition because the reveal comes at the end, and I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a good reveal. It's something I've been guilty of in my stories. It's not necessarily a crime. It's a good storytelling device. Here we got the guards watching everyone out in the yard. Or this is cell blocks We're not out in the yard till tomorrow, or later today, whichever it is. God only knows in prison. Time sort of slips away from you. That movie, Felon, is pretty good. It's not as good as Shot Caller. Shot Caller was a better film, but Felon was good too. It was good to see Val Kilmer in that role. That was great. Harold Perrineau, I don't know how you say that guy's name, the black dude from Romeo and Juliet. He played Mercutio with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. That was a good movie. Whatever else Baz Luhrmann did, Chicago and all the other nonsense. Romeo and Juliet was good. So Loop is cool with everyone and everyone's cool with him, in part because he beat up this guy called Nine Train. So everyone respects him, but at the same time they're like, man, you better watch your back. You ain't got enough eyes for all the backs you gotta watch. And prison speak, I will give at Brian Azzarello this. The dialogue is spot on. He's able to shift from one comic to the next, all the different dialects and vocabularies that different subcultures in America use, and he does it so effortlessly. This is so good. This is part of why this comic doesn't get boring, because every issue is a different subset of the country. And it feels legit. It feels authentic. Authentic is all you want. Authentic is not easy to get. So as Loop is approaching, he's like, man, I wish I had a broom to sweep all this white trash off of my porch. He uses the word porch, right? And of course, these guys give him some hard looks, and you think there's going to be a moment of fighting. But then you realize Loop's been teaching this guy. He's been his tutor, teaching him English and math and whatnot. And the guy who stepped in while Loop was in solitary is not as good, not as patient, not as understanding. And a lot of this guy's problem is he doesn't think he can. You have to think you can, you have to know you can, you have to want to, because Loop points out, look man, you never had any problem doing fractions selling drugs. You could split up an ounce easy enough. Loop believes in the big dude doesn't believe in himself. Look at that image. Wow. If that isn't, the Hulk or Drax the Destroyer or Lobo, man, steroids in the joint, better believe it. So anyhow, Loop tells him, come by tomorrow, we'll do it, we'll talk, I'll hook you up, we'll get back on track. Loop is a likable guy. He's everybody's friend, and he can hold his own when it comes to a fight. That's how you get power and influence in the world. Helping people. That's why that card is so good up front. The power and influence you have in prison is the same power and influence you're going to have out in the real world, in the end of the world. What are you capable of? What are you willing to do? What can other people depend on you for without making them dependent on you? The guards hate Loop. This is his cellmate talking about how they can't get him the medicine he needs to get right. The drawing lives up to the writing in every single way. Eduardo Risso and Brian Azzarello are an incredible team. Thank God Vertigo gave them the budget to do this book, or we might have never gotten it. It's so good. This is so good. Comics have never been this good since. So down in the main block, what's going on down there? Wow, there's people gathered out there. Oh, there's a new girl. Call herself Paula or Carla or something. You hungry? No, I'll pass. All right, let's go get some food. So they go down to the cafeteria, and someone reaches onto Loop's tray and drops his apple, and that someone is a bully of a guard who is recognizing the fact that Loop Hughes has a little bit too much power and influence for his liking. So he's going to make a point of putting Loop in his place. Then he gives Loop a cigarette and tells him to say thank you. You say this is one of those things where in prison, you let someone do you a favor, next thing you know, they've got you wrapped around their little finger, you could say. And instead of saying thank you, Loop says, you got a light? Guy punches him, but Loop got a cigarette out of it. Hits him with the baton, doesn't just punch him. This art is awesome. I have a lot of this in my story here, where Ashley and Jeff go to the juvenile detention facility, which is essentially prison for kids. It's a giant school run like a prison. I remember someone told me they really loved this book and the hope and action and this epic adventure, whilst this one was a lot less fun. It was like a prison movie. And it's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate. Only imagine if the prison was run by serial killers preying on children instead of just guards vying for influence and power. So here we are, it's night. Loop is getting his hair braided by his cellmate, talking about how you better be careful, man. They're coming for you. They ain't gonna give you no rest. Look at the colors. Patricia Mulville, I haven't given her any credit for the colors. Mostly because these colors are, clearly we have gradations, but they're not being played out. This is, here's some even on Loop's arms. So they're just not, the colors are subtle in this book, and that's okay with me. Colors in some books have been overwhelming the art and the story lately, and that's a little bit too much. Here, Loop's doing a workout. Someone calls him out and laughs when he drops the weights. This is the guy Loop saw when he first got out of solitary. And they're telling Loop, hey man, something's going on. Something's going on. You better be watching. Pay attention. And then they point out that his big Nazi friend is talking to the cops. And everyone sees that too. Everyone sees everything in prison. Sort of like what that saying from the Hagakure, Hidden by Leaves, the samurai texts. Nothing can stay hidden for more than 2 moons. There are no secrets. Everyone knows everything about everyone. It's written on your sleeve. It's written on your face. You ain't hiding nothing from nobody. So, the bus comes in with fresh fish. And everyone's yelling about Bob. Hey, Bob. Yo, Bob. And I thought it was going to be the old Neil and Bob line. But this guy freaks out. How do you know my name? Bent over backwards. We all know your name. They're all laughing. This is one of those prison rituals. Loop wants to know what the big dude was talking to the guards about. And he's like, man, I ain't talking to them about nothing. They're talking to me. What are they talking to you about? Cop killer coming in on this one. Oh, shit. Cop killer, huh? Is that him? No, that ain't him. And they know this guy. He got busted on a B&E, so lost his parole. He's a friendly face, familiar face. No, that ain't the cop killer. Who's the cop killer? What cop killer? Oh, shit. Motherfuck. Cop killer getting off the bus. That cop killer is Lono. Lono ain't dead. Lono took a couple shotgun rounds, some pellets, a couple 9mm bullets, maybe his leather jacket, maybe the distance, maybe just Lono's so hard that shit didn't kill him. Lono is alive and well. And thank goodness, because Lono is a driving force in 100 bullets. Now we're already at issue 43, stacking them up pretty fast, getting to the halfway point. But man, he is a force of nature. He is a big part of this story, and I'm glad he's not dead, because Lono is fun. Lono promises a good time will be had by all. So yeah, what do we got? We got death. And we got, whoa. What kind of power and influence have you got at the end of the world? Do you even know? Do you even know who you are? In the regular world? All right, see you guys tomorrow.